Hello everyone, and welcome to a new Planet Coaster series with me, Liumski. I hope you're doing awesome. It's been a long time since I've been on this, and with the recent news of Planet Coaster 2, soon to release in fall or autumn, however you want to call it, this year of 2024, I thought what a better time to get reacquainted with the game than now. As I said, it's been a long time. I've completely got rid of any TMTK. This is going to be full vanilla, apart from, okay, I know I did say there's going to be full vanilla. I have got some fonts, and that's it. If I use them, that is. I might not even use them. Fonts as in lettering. But, as I said, I may not use them. We'll see how it goes. We're going to do a challenge park, and we're going to do it in hard mode. And we're going to do it in a city. And we're going to call it Planco City Park. This is just to get myself reacquainted, and just for anyone new to the game that's thinking of actually getting it, or even just getting this one instead of Planet Coaster 2 because it might not work well or whatever, and you just want to get to a grasp of the game and stuff. I just thought I'd give it a shot. So let's give it a whirl and get started. So, Challenge Park. This is hard mode, obviously, so you only start with $2,000. I'm going to pause the game quickly. Just to explain, so you start with $2,000. You have very little in terms of rides as well, so we don't have any track rides. We have some rides here to choose from, but as I said, some of them we can't even afford. Like the free flyer here is like $20 over what we have at the moment. And we have Horror Heights as well, which is the one that you'd use, for example, anyone that knows Disney has the Hollywood Hotel Tower of Terror, whatnot. That's that sort of ride. And we've got a few others here. And then obviously roller coasters. We start with, let's go to custom, these ones in hard mode. You can research a heck of a lot more. Obviously, I'm not even going to attempt to build a roller coaster yet. I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm going to do as basic as it comes, just because I'm thinking of those that might be new, might be thinking about getting this, and just to make it a real relaxed time for myself and anyone that's watching it. I have the music on in the background as well, which is lovely, isn't it? I love the soundtrack on this. I remember like how it used to just keep you chill and keep you focused. But anyway, we'll get started. We'll get going. One thing I'll recommend everyone does first on a challenge mode, if you're on hard mode with only $2,000, is, and feel free to follow along. If not, and you want to do it your own way, then by all means. You want to go to finances and get a loan straight away. I would go with the 10,000 loan because it's less interest for starters, and also it's a lot more. We want to repay as little as possible. Oops, not 10,000. That's way too much. So the minimum is 1,000 to repay per month. So we've got to make sure that we get plenty of money coming in, but we will, because now we've got 12,000 in the bank. We should be able to get at least 3 rides in, and this is going to be like a money making corner for us, just so that we can get profit, or profit making corner, let's call it. So I'm going to get started here. I'm going to just expand excuse me, the entrance. So I'm going to go to that, click on the entrance, click on the pencil, and then we can edit it. I can then click on the entrance. I'm going to control D. You can either control D, which does that, or you can duplicate up here. So I'm going to control D because it's what I'm used to. I'm just going to do 3 there. The reason why I do this is when the park gets busier, it's going to look crazy on the pathing. I mean, not just here, specifically, not potentially here, but it's going to look crazy in the park itself. So you need to think about really future-proofing. If you've done this, what I've done, and pretty much got the loan. If you've not got the loan, then you don't need to worry about that so much straight away. Whoops. Because you won't have the issue of crowding right away. But because we've got the loan right now, we are potentially going to have a bit of a crowd on our hands quite quickly. So I'm just going to make sure that I do this right, because this is what I think I remember I used to do this, but we're gonna do. Remember, what I just said. We're gonna do like a corner of rides. That's the profit maker. Let's see if this works for me. Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly how I want it to look. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna send a path out this way. So let's go to here and do the grid. So if you go to align to grid, select grid, you can do it like this, and it allows you to do this basically. And I'll show you the best way for myself, what I like to do for queues as well for rides, because this works quite nicely when you do this. So we'll keep going with the path along here. I'm putting it way out the way here because this stuff isn't going to be anything to do with the park once we start making money, hopefully anyway, or it'll turn into a kid's corner or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along. I'm not bothering with any building or anything right now in terms of theming and stuff. I'm purely going to get the rides down just so that I can get some money in. So first and foremost, Ascendance. Dead easy, it's there on a plate, and it's small. Now, the location of this, you want to make sure that wherever the exit is where this fella is, where the ride operator is. If the exit is right near the words. If the exit is right near where the ride operator is, the ride, when it breaks down, will be fixed quicker because the mechanic goes to the ride operation place to fix the ride. So if it's right there, he can go, bosh, job done, straight away, and off he goes to the next available job that he needs to do. Now, queues, it doesn't matter where it goes for this, it's because it's all over the place. You know, you've got the seating everywhere. But what I was mentioning a little while ago about pathing and queues and with the grid, so you want to select the width of 2 every time. The first one's going to be this width, and then just go an extra one here, then do select grid, select at the end, and then bosh, you can do a nice little cattle grid here. And this ride tends to get kind of busy, so it's always worthwhile, you know, giving it a little bit more of a lengthy kind of thing. Now go off track there. Now it does that sometimes and it goes a bit weird, but if you just turn it from time to time, it might fix the path nicely. Otherwise, you can do Z and you can do some funky things with it like that there. I am going to make it slightly wider for the entrance because those pillars make it a bit awkward. In fact, I think it needs to be just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. And then what we'll do is we'll come to the end. We'll just take this path out a bit more. I know it's a boring straight path, but as I said, this is just to get our money rolling. Right, take that back to 3, and then we can do little angle, and then I like that. That's all good. And then what you can do in future now, I'm future-proofing this queue line. So if it's rammed, we can just add like a priority queue here to go along the outside and go to there. It's not a big queue anyway, but people might still use it. You never know. Now, next ride to do. I mean, feel free to follow. Feel free to pick your own rides, but these are the rides I tend to choose myself. This is going to be Hurricane. Hurricane. So we're going to have the exit here. And then we're going to have the queue line. Well, again, with this one, you can pretty much start it anywhere. And I'm going to have it circle all the way around from this side. I'll tell you what, let's put it there. And the exit can go right here. It's a bit of an awkward looking pathway, but actually, I do not like that. It's kind of gross. Right, we'll do it like this. And then we can just join that back there. Now, what I'll show you in a moment is how I've linked this all together. So it makes for more foot traffic. Well, potentially anyway. That's how I think it works anyway. It's how I've discovered it works for me. Again, you don't have to follow suit. Everyone has their own ways, but feel free to comment and let me know how you feel it should be done or how it works for you, because as I said, people have different ways, and I do realize this is not going to look very good. I'm going to try and I usually take my time here, but I'm not for some reason. So let's just try and line it up as nicely as possible just so it doesn't look gross. I mean, gross, it doesn't really matter in all honesty. It's just a queue line, and it will have at some stage some scenery, which we'll come to shortly as well. And if people know me well enough from past things, they'll know. I know I'm opening it up. I'm doing it on purpose. They'll know I like to add a certain scenery piece to pathways at the start. Okay, so this can now open up like that. Now, the location of the paths, the entrance and the exit. They'll come to this one. They'll go on here. They'll go on the right. They'll exit here. And then there's an entrance here straight away to the other right. They'll go in here. They'll take the exit. They'll go over here. So it's potentially a circuit of rides right there. So that's just 2 rides. And I said I'm going to do 3. I'm thinking about it. But what I'm going to do before I move on is I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the pathing. Well, yeah, the pathing, the scenery for now around the ride. Because in order to get this prestige higher and be able to charge people more, we need this queue scenery rating to go up. Because obviously it's at 0% at the moment because it's just plain. It's just dull, boring, nothing, nonsensical. So what I do every time to get started, again, this can work on the easiest mode as well. I mean, you'll have a lot more money, so you won't necessarily have to take out a loan and stuff like I have. I use these begonia flowers. Dead easy. Dead easy, honestly. And I'm just going to hold shift down and slightly move down a little bit, just so that it doesn't align or go over the top of this. So now I can go through everything. And I'm literally just going to do this all the way along the path. And I'll show you afterwards what it does to the queue scenery rating. And you'll also see that I'm rotating each time just to give that a little bit extra. I mean, it doesn't do... For me, it helps. I mean, you can do it without rotating, but I do it without rotating just to give it that little bit of variety of direction and stuff. So I'll do this all the way around and I'll be right back with you in a second. Okay, so I've done the planting all around here, along the path as well as a little bit as well, but all the way around the queue line. Now, what I'm going to say, and again, feel free to try this yourself, is go down here and select the multi-selection tool, and then just highlight everything you just did. I mean, feel free to do this before you did that. And when I say highlight everything you just did, I mean the plants. Okay, and then click this button here, which is merge scenery into scenery group. This then makes it a lot easier to edit anything that you do around the path here. So you can just select it and then you can just edit. And then what you can do is, if you feel like you want to, is you can add another line right here. And then we can change the coloring. Let's just give them a white right there. And that can work like that. And that will give more scenery rating as well. So what I did there was I literally just highlighted a line and then I selected Control D, or you can do the duplicate button up here, and then it gives you this icon here which allows you to move left and right, forward and backward. Well, you know what I mean, the XY axes, and then you can move it around as you like. You can even push X or this icon here, and then you can rotate like so. But we're not going to do that here. We're done it like that, and that's how we're going to keep it. In fact, we're going to quickly just do the same around here, so that it has a little bit of I don't know the word. I've lost the words, but you know what I'm trying to say here. Anyway, that's lovely. Look at that. Perfect. Nice, easy, simple. And now we're going to check out what the scenery rating is in the queue now. 100%. That's perfect. That's what we need. Now, this might not change instantly because obviously it's paused. So that may change, and what we're going to do is, well, I'm going to do this off screen quickly, but I'm going to do exactly the same here as I have done here. Now I've made this gap here, which makes it a little more nicer to give it an opportunity to make yourself a bit more of a nice kind of added bit of scenery to it. But I'll be back shortly and I will have done exactly the same here, right here. So I will be back momentarily. Okay, so that took a little bit, probably about 5-10 minutes at the most, but I pretty much followed the same way as I did this one. I did all the orange pieces first, and then I selected them and turned them into a scenery group like that. See, I click on one and it selects everything, and then I just copy and pasted some parts and changed the colors to just make that second line there and there. But that gives us 100% scenery rating there as well. I'm going to stick that to testing. That's only 2 rides still. I know. We've still got 6,000 spare. I'm now going to look at putting together a restroom and drinks only first. Now, the reason why it's going to be drinks only is guests are more likely to get drinks way more than food at the very start. And obviously restrooms, they're going to be used always. So we're going to stick a restroom. Probably, we'll stick one right here. Just on the corner there. This is subject to change, by the way. I'm not likely to keep everything in one place. And also, unfortunately, I'm going to also charge them. Just 50 cents. And put that set that to use the same prices for all facilities of this type. So every time we put a toilet down, it's going to be, or restroom, it's going to be the same price. We won't need to go to each individual one and change the pricing. So that's that down. We're then going to go and select something to drink. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to bring the path out a bit more. So this is so that we get more people coming through, like traffic wise. So if we get more traffic flow, more foot flow, we're more likely to get more people come past and use the facilities that we provide, especially if they start getting thirsty and hungry and all that malarkey. We will need to profit from that. So I'm just going to make a little square here. As I say, feel free to play along or do it your own way. Either way is fine. And let's get the shop sorted. Go to drinks, and it's going to be just Cosmic Cow. Cosmic Cow's the only thing that's going to be available to us first of all. Whoops, I don't know why I did that. Okay. Now I'm going to make sure angled snap is on so that we can get the perfect snap on here. Well, He says hopefully. But as we know, well, you may not know, the pathing system on this isn't the greatest. And you can see here what happens when you do that. And we just want it to be squared off. So really, I don't know why this wasn't fixed, but you know, I've seen a new pathing system for the new Planet Coaster coming out, so that'll be much nicer. So we can hopefully just connect it here, which we can't. So I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're going to take those away and we're going to just see if we can get away with doing a small path here instead, which is a pain in the backside, but you got to do what you got to do, unfortunately. When this happens, we just got to make do. But at the same time, at least it should fix the problem and we'll be able to put more than one. Hopefully this can join here. It will be nice if it did, but it doesn't look like it's going to. So we'll have to do a weird joining thing to the side here. Yeah, that's weird, but it'll just have to do for now. And now we can't even join this path up. So let's just do this. Take that away, and then hopefully this will join nicely. There we go. That's better. Not perfect, but it's better. Okay. And what I'm going to do here as well is see if I can smooth this out. So I'm going to go to the corner of it so it looks like this and hold Z down if you're on the PC. And try and get the best angle, place that down, and then delete. And then you can get some sort of curve like this. Again, this is the best you can do with the current Planco situation, but with Planco 2, I can see, if you haven't seen already, the pathing is going to be way better. So that'll be interesting to see how it works when it comes on to us being able to actually play the game. So, as you can see, that's going to join perfectly. We're only going to put one down for now. We're going to leave the restroom right over there so they can go back and forth. We'll keep that there. We're also going to have a staff management building. So what we want to do is, because it's automatically going to be a building, you click on this button here, select building, and then edit building. And then what we can do is we can add other things here. So here's the staff management building. This is where they go on their breaks. I'm going to add this probably over... Let's add it through there. Just out of the way a little bit. And then they can go in there. And then what I'm going to do is when this opens properly... we will have one vendor in. I'll get a spare vendor so that when one vendor goes on break, the other one goes straight in there right away. But I might leave it a little bit so that they don't end up going on break at the same time. Right, so we've got our drink store, we got our restroom or toilet. Now we need to give seating. So we're going to go to scenery. We're going to go to props. Not props, sorry, path extras. My apologies. And then we've got everything here with benches and bins. So what I like to do is I like to select, again, your choice what you want to do. I select picnic benches, and we're just going to go with the basic wooden ones here for now, just because they're standard, and they're useful for all the Planco people to use. So just put the Planco benches down there like this, and then hopefully people will walk around the outside of that, and then we can put benches here as well. We will have another shop right there, and then we're going to leave a space there as well. And what I'm going to do also is I'm going to add these umbrellas just to give it some added pizzazz, let's call it. Let's make it orange and white. So what you can do is you can position snap, and position snap will automatically, if you can see, snap to the center of the prop that it's related to. So in this case, it'll go to the middle of the benches. Now, I might not be able to get away with that because it's too close together. So we're going to have a couple of odd ones without brollies. And there we go. That's all done and dusted. Next are the bins. So bins, we're going to go with these bog standard ones just because we can color those and make them look almost identical to everything around them, apart from the benches, obviously. And then we're going to add them scattered around. So I think we're going to add one right here. We're going to add one just as we come out of the place, and here as well. We're also going to add some bins scattered around the park, and I'll do that with benches as well in a moment. So we'll just add some bins here or there, just to avoid any rubbish. Now you'll notice I haven't got any staff yet, and there's a reason for that, because they cost a lot of money. So we're going to put benches down, one either side of a bin, just to give people a place to sit. Can't really put one there or there, so we'll put two here. Not sure we can put a bench there. It'll look a bit weird, so that's fine. We'll put one on the side of this one. We'll put one here, and I think that'll do for now. Okay, so that's benches, bins, umbrellas, a drink stand, and then space to put a food stand if necessary. We got a toilet right over there. We could additionally put another toilet here. It's possible, but we may not do that right now. I know the scenery is not great here as well. Again, what I will do is I will repeat everything I've done here. It's all going to be samey around here, and it's probably going to close off and then come back round to join the main bit. As I said, this is going to be like the corner for where we can make some money at the start, because we're going to be in trouble otherwise straight away, considering we need to make sure we make at least 1,000 a month to pay back the loan. And then on top of that, we have wages and what have you. Now, staff related. Never get a mechanic straight away if you're doing a challenge park, okay? Only get a mechanic as and when one of your rides breaks down. When the ride breaks down, put the mechanic right at the exit of the ride that's broken down. Hopefully you've done as I've mentioned and put the exit right by this. Once they've fixed the ride and they've come out the exit and the ride's reopened and people are queuing up, fire the mechanic and send them home. That way you're saving about $300-400 a month on that, and well, hopefully anyway. I don't think the wage goes all out like that, and it seems to work for me, so try it for yourself. And then again with janitors, unless the paths start getting disgusting, hence lots of bins, don't hire a janitor straight away. You can start hiring a janitor first and foremost before a mechanic, once things start looking dirtier and you've got a decent kind of amount of money coming in. So next I'm going to do another ride. So I reckon I'm going to do the free flyer, because it's like a fairground area around here, and we can probably call it the fairground area. So this is going to be exactly the same process as our hurricane ride right here. So we can just do this as the entrance exit area. So let's see, let's do the exit right there. Entrance is going to be around here. Exit is going to be right here. Amazing. So it's still relatively close, but people will go on these rides. Okay, so that's 3 rides, and I'll be able to do everything together. And what I'll do is I'll do the pathing and the flower arrangement like I have here, and then I'll come straight back to you. Okie dokie, so that's that done as well. So that should be nice and 100% also, which it is. We're going to test them all. We're going to open the park now as well, and we're going to set the ticket prices. So standard is going to be, let's say 2 and then 1. 2 for per guest, and then family 1. And then we're going to see how that rolls and play it out. So let's speed it up and let's see what happens. We're going to have lots of people come in. And actually, we've already completed our first challenge, which was the first one. Achieve a scenery rating of 20. Let's have a look. Our scenery rating is 35. That's pretty epic. Let's claim that reward and let's get $1,000. The next challenge is build a coaster with at least 1 second of airtime. It's possible. It looks like people are not happy with the ticket prices, which is interesting, but it might be because the rides are not open yet. That is why. Ensure no janitor leaves for 2 months. Okay, so we can leave these on for now. We will get a third one. You'll only have a max of 3 challenges at a time. You can cancel one or decline one, and then another one will appear after a little while. It's not the end of the world if you do this. So let's speed it up and let's just wait for people to come in. We're going to open the rides, and then once the rides open, we should be good. So let's just open, open, and open. And hopefully that should bring people to come in now that rides are open. There we go, you see. So they want a food shop and they didn't put much effort into this spot. Well, no, that's true. But let's see how they cope. So we're going to pause. So I'm going to guarantee they might have already said it's cheap. Yeah, there we go. Well, park entry and now hurricane. So now we've got 448. So this is how we do the ticket prices. You want to get a calculator here. Use it on your phone or use it on the PC or whatever you are. It's fine. It's the prestige amount divided by 37.6. So it's 448 divided by 37.6. And that will give you probably a number with a decimal point of a crazy amount of numbers. But that's going to be for this one. I mean, it might vary for you what the prestige will be. And you need to check back with these from time to time because they will change as you build up around the area and stuff. So for this one, it's 576 divided by 37.6. And that's 15.31 blah, 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 blah. So I'm just going to have it at 15. And it's not far off from what it starts at, which is good. This one here, the free flyer, is 352. So this is going to be the cheapest one. So 352 divided by 37.6 is 9.36. So we're just going to put it as 9. Again, it's close to what it already was. But people will pay to go on still. So let's have a look. Let's watch this happen in real time. There we go. No complaint. No complaint right there. I don't know why it beeped. Please excuse that. I think it was my mouse being funny. But you can see now people will be going on. Let's speed it up even more. And then we're going to start getting money in. So we're already getting some money in. We're in the minus at the moment, but that should change over time. See, everyone's going in the park. Everyone's going into the ride queues. And everyone's happy as Larry with what they're paying. So let's just check their views. Seems to have a quick queue. I hope I like the rides here. Well, I'm sure you will. There's 3 of them to choose from. Oh my life, look at this. Look at this rush of people coming in. So that's going to be nice and tasty for our monthly profit. Look at that. The monthly profit's already gone up big time. So that's good. So now we're already on our way to making money. So now we've got plenty of people queuing for all the rides. I knew this queue wasn't going to be big enough, but it's fine. So we should be all good to go for a little while. We've now got 6 grand already, so that's a great start. So the fact that someone complained about there being no food outlets worried me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to build a food outlet as well. So let's get the food shop. So let's go with... every time I go with pizza because just I like pizza. So pizza penne. And that fits perfectly, and that's open as well. So now people will be happy to get food and drink. And obviously this is a very boring area. It's very plain and everything, but it's all covered, you see. It's all covered, and we don't need to worry about anything too much. And we're also going to get another vendor. So there's the vendor. We'll get them just wandering around so they've got something to do. So... happy days. I don't know if he's just going to go in the staff room and wait, which is all good because he's right on the doorstep. But look, this is amazing. Straight away, guys, we've got the money coming in. We've got almost 7k already. We've made 4 grand this month. It's fantastic. So there's the construction costs in total. So there's nothing to worry about. If you follow that sort of step, you're good to go for a little while at least. And it should take a little while before the first ride breaks down, but do not worry if it's quicker or whatever. Just make sure you follow the step I said, which was to just hire a mechanic, plop him down right next to the exit, get them to fix the ride. I mean, by all means, let them have a look at the other two rides, because by that time, all the other rides will be due a inspection. Let them inspect the other rides and then fire them. You can do that if you want as well, and that saves you some money for a little bit. I mean, in this scenario, it doesn't look like we're going to have to worry about that because we're earning a fair amount. And those are our first guests getting a drink as well. So happy days. This is a pretty good going little park already. So I'm going to call this area like a Orange County Fair area. So hence the orange. Or Orange State Fair. Whatever. I don't know. And then we're going to have like a little archway thing, a wooden archway of a sign on it maybe, and then we're going to add some fencing along the sides as well at some stage also. We might do that in the next episode, and then we'll also add a building around here. Since we're doing so well for cash, it makes sense to do so. I'm just going to check the loan situation. So you can see here, there would be an option to pay off the loan if you had 9k. Now look how close we are to 9k already. I have half a mind to think that we could repay this in a 2 months time and we'll be good to go. Look at that monthly profit, almost 5k. In fact, you know what? We're probably able to. And then we're going to be making our own money and we don't have to worry about losing 1,000 per month on a loan. But that is the basics of getting us started, guys. This is our starting park. This is our Planco City Park. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 1 here. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave some comments down below if you so wish. And if you want to name these rides as well, by all means, drop them down in the comments and even give me some colors that you can think of, some color schemes, because at the minute they're default and we can change the colors to these. So, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.